Hey guys, what's up? It is I, the Shadow231, and today I'm here with
Roche.
And today we're going to talk about something that was brought up in our last video. What if the Skull Knight is truly evil?
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
We would like to thank these guys for their comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. What if the Skull Knight is truly evil? What if he's trying to do his own plan to get ultimate power? We see that he eats behemoths on a constant basis, but why? And also, him ingesting these items does not affect him. So that is a bit peculiar.
Yeah. I think he's very unique in that way, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the only character that does that.
I think the most revealing thing for me when I was reading through the manga, in terms of him being potentially evil, is when I saw the scene, which I've talked about many times, with him and Guts and Slan.
Right.
And he kept telling Slan to hurry up and get on with what she wanted to do and encouraging Guts to impale her with the sword. I was like, what would the reason be for that?
I think my most compelling scene that pushed me to think that Skull Knight might actually have a hidden agenda is when Zod saw Guts putting on the Berserker armor. And he's like, you gonna let him take the same path as you?
Exactly. Because he knows the outcome.
Right.
He knows the outcome. He knows that Guts' traumatic past has kind of put him in a negative frame of mind pretty much. Mm-hmm. And the demon dog is in him. And that's kind of further encouraging the negativity and him to sink deeper into depravity.
Yes. And also, if the Skull Knight was actually a true team player, why doesn't he, go on this quest with Guts, as a mentor versus showing up at pivotal points in the plot?
It's clear to me that he wants Guts to remain alive, Guts and Casca.
Right.
But the end game is not so clear, because if we think about it, Guts has had to go through a lot of loss and suffering in his life.
And these are things the Skull Knight could have prevented. So, for example, the eclipse. The Skull Knight broke into Eclipse at the last possible second to help Guts, right? But as stated by Zod, the Skull Knight is a very powerful warrior, and he should have had ample time to break into there to actually save more members besides Guts and Casca.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, with their insight into causality and the future, basically, he would have known at what point he needed to step in, or I guess he knows what point he needs to step in, but he would have known at what point people were gonna die.
Yeah, it's like he purposely waited for certain things to take place, certain events to happen, just to inflict enough pain on Guts to keep him going forward with this hate.
So there's been some talk about the Skull Knight being the overthrown tyrannical king Gaiseric. I did some digging and I came across King of the Vandals, Gaiseric or Genseric. He caused great devastation across the world pretty much, and he crushed forces in Eastern and Western empires. Now, the thing that stood out most to me was that in a turn of events, he actually turned on his ally and defeated his army. So we know that Miura has pulled references and inspiration from multiple areas, and to us, it kind of indicated that the Skull Knight might follow a similar path. Also, the Skull Knight keeps leading Guts towards a new destination.
He was saying that, hey, you have to go to Elf Island, but when she is healed, Casca, what she wants may not be what you want.
And that to me is like mental torture, because I think Guts, for me, when I watched the anime, that really, really hit home Guts' experience. Guts is constantly tortured by the demons, and he can hear their voices at every moment. He can't sleep.
No.
And then there are these thoughts that are being put into his head, like, oh my gosh, the one person that you love the most might betray you.
So, Guts is a character that he cannot let this thing with Griffith go. Right now, he's focused on helping Casca get her mind back, but I'm pretty sure his end game is to kill Griffith.
And rightly so, I think. Given what's been done.
Right.
Guys, check out the scene from the manga. We can clearly see that the Skull Knight simply tells these two apostles to go back. And if I remember correctly, Guts actually has to fight against them. So, way to be creepy, SK.
It is really hard to tell what side the Skull Knight is on, because, again, this being is able to eat the behelit and use it as a weapon. And it means that he and the behelits have some type of spiritual link to something.
And I think more than that, he has a great degree of control over them.
Yeah.
Because he's not affected by him.
What if he was like a God Hand member at one point? I mean, the fact that he could eat them.
I don't think he was a God Hand member. I think he was higher than a God Hand member. Because like I said, Sam kept referring to him as Your Majesty. And we talked, and several people have mentioned in the comments about him being the ancient king. And I really think that that's the case.
Alright, so you guys tell us what you think. Do you think the Skull Knight could possibly be evil? Is he trying to lead Guts down the path to hell?
Or is he the good guy that is helping to shape Guts into the ultimate warrior to face the battle that he has coming up ahead? Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our video. If you haven't already liked it, hit the like button right now. And don't forget to check out the description box. We've got it completely filled out with information and videos that you do not want to miss. Leave your comments and questions down below. Subscribe. Over and out.